Hello, everyone, and welcome to Module 2 of our TikTok and Reels course. So hopefully after Module 1, you have the foundations of understanding the difference in this type of content. So maybe since you have looked at Module 1, you've downloaded TikTok, maybe you've explored Reels a little bit more. So today is going to be all about TikTok. So I gave you an understanding of the foundations of it, the power of it, and the growth of it. So hopefully by now, you know that it is an app that's not going anywhere. It is a very, very, very fast growing app. And in terms of age and demographic, it is very much growing in that space as well. So it's not just about young people dancing around or pointing to the screen. It is very much an app that can help grow your business and sell your products and services. So if you were a little bit confused in terms of some of the terminology that I used last week, and I know that even in the last module, I did say, we will be going into this in more detail for a lot of the points that I made in terms of TikTok. So that's why today I'm just going to be focused just on TikTok alone. What I would like you to do if you're just starting today's video is I would like you to take out your phone and have the TikTok app downloaded, because I'm going to be going through some of the features with you. And then I am going to be prompting you to take out your phone and to open TikTok and to just start trialing different parts of it, using different features, and just becoming a lot more familiar with the app. I do believe in learning by doing. I think it is a lot more beneficial for you to learn by doing. So there will be certain sections towards the end of this module where I will be encouraging you to take out your device and to start using TikTok. And hopefully after today, you might just create your first TikTok video, or you might start creating videos that you're a lot more comfortable with, that you feel represent your business a bit better, but also that you know you're using the best practices as well. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen as usual, and we'll get stuck in. Okay, so hopefully you can all see that now, and you can see my little face in the corner. Okay, so as I said, today is going to be all about navigating the TikTok app. I want you to become so familiar with all of the different features on the app. I'm also going to show you how to conduct some research on TikTok. Now, the final module in this course, I will be going through a lot more in terms of content creation, in terms of trends, in terms of best practices. But I want to show you how you can start your research today and just get to know your niche as well. And then we're going to be going through all of the different features on TikTok and how to create your first video as well. So as I said, it's all about helping you to become a little bit more comfortable with TikTok in general. So just a reminder of TikTok and the difference between TikTok's mission statement and most other social apps is that TikTok is really about creativity and joy. And as I said in the last module, it is very much about letting creators create. And it is an app that a lot of people create content on, that they feel more comfortable creating content on TikTok versus Instagram, versus Facebook, versus Snapchat. TikTok creates this comfortable space for them because they know that there is an audience for their content. So it's not just businesses, and it's not just the likes of content creators and influencers. It's everyone. And this is where this kind of creativity and bringing joy, this is why this is at the core of TikTok's mission statement, because it wants everybody to feel like they can be a part of something. So putting myself, now there is a few things, there's a few times in this module where I just, like to show a bit of myself that will make you feel a bit more comfortable, just to make it a bit more relatable for you as well, right? So just as a, for instance, my Instagram is on the left. You can see it's a bit more structured. You can see it has a bit more aesthetic to it. And it follows my brand a little bit more in terms of, the structure, the layout, it's a little bit more refined. Then you have my TikTok channel, and it is a lot more, even just from the thumbnails alone, you can see that it is a lot more entertaining, a lot more laid back. And I tap into a lot more relatability on that channel. And this is kind of how I want you to see it. Now, I know that for some people, there is a line that you will not cross. And I know for some people, There is certain types of content that you just will not create for your business because it doesn't go with your brand and it doesn't go with your mission statement, your vision statement, and it doesn't suit your business. And that's totally fine. You don't have to make jokes and you don't have to be cringy, for lack of better words, on your TikTok. You do not have to be like that at all. So don't worry about that if you feel like you have to be someone that you're not. I really don't want that to happen to you. But I would say that it is that channel that you do have to be a little bit more relaxed on. And that you don't necessarily have to have this aesthetic feed that you might be looking at, or you already might have with your Instagram. You don't have to look at that aesthetic on your TikTok. You just have to think about it as more creativity, more relatability, and like that kind of shorter form videos, snappy videos, versus the Instagram. So that's just kind of a look at aesthetic, that people don't necessarily expect a specific aesthetic on TikTok like they would on Instagram. And just a reminder as well, I hope that you have downloaded TikTok and that you have become a bit more familiar with it, because I really wanted you to become aware of, when you're on TikTok, it is all about the For You page. It is the place where you can be discovered, where you discover content, and it is TikTok's homepage. Now, you've probably noticed that Instagram's update, where it has the 3 different types of news feeds, that they're now starting to bring in content on your normal homepage, and they're prompting you to look at content from creators or accounts that you don't follow. And that's because of TikTok's For You page. They're trying to integrate some content that you may be interested in. And your goal when you start off on TikTok is to appear in the For You page. It's very difficult to build a following unless you are appearing in the For You page and you are creating content and reaching your audience. And this is how you create, and this is how you reach the For You page. So the goal is really to get there, to get on that For You page, to reach that place that your audience is on. And they are there and they are looking at this content. So this is where that difference comes in, right? It's that discovery mode. It's the following and the For You, right? So as I like to say, channel your inner YouTube addict. And I feel like a lot of people who will be taking this course, that that you've been there. You're probably, in this generation where you have gone down the rabbit hole on YouTube. You have, stayed up until 2 or 3 in the morning, going down that rabbit hole of, okay, I'll just watch this next video. Okay, I'll just watch this next video. And YouTube had kind of started that prompt of, because you watched this, you may be interested in this. So kind of channel that mentality. And that's where your audiences on TikTok are. That's the mentality that they're in. Very few people that I know who use TikTok actually go to the following part of TikTok. They tend to live in that For You page. So just remember that when you are creating content, that you're not always just talking to your followers, that you have that ability to reach new audiences. So maybe every so often in your videos, you are maybe reintroducing yourself, or maybe you're giving a little bit of context about your brand or the topic that you're talking about. Because if you have a video that will maybe reach the For You page and maybe have that potential to go viral, then you don't really want to miss out on that opportunity where you have this very brief introduction, whether it's at the start or at the end, or some prompt for your business in there as well, because this is the thing. This is the difference. You could go to sleep at night and wake up and have gone viral. But I wouldn't make it your aim to go viral. I would make it your aim to reach the For You page. There is a difference there, because your content should naturally reach the For You page. And then how it works is that it tends to show it to 50 people, and then it will show it to 100 people if maybe there is some interaction with the first 50. And then it kind of batch shows your content. So you'll probably see in your videos, if you do have a piece of content that goes viral, and virality doesn't necessarily mean you have hundreds of thousands of views. It could mean that you reach 1,000 people and you mightn't have that many followers. That is virality, because you're now reaching audiences that did not know you before. So that's how it works. It will batch show your content. So you'll see your video views increase by a set amount of people. So it will be 50, 100, 500, 1000, 1500. So it tends to kind of go like that because it will send it out to people it thinks that it will be relevant to. And then if they interact with it, then it will find more people and more people. So that's kind of how it works. If you're wondering why your video views increase in chunks, that's how it puts it out to a test group of people first, and then it increases the views depending on engagement and interaction. And before, as I said, it's not that people necessarily have to like the video or engage with it, but if they're watching it and maybe rewatching it, that's a signal to TikTok that this piece of content is good, it's relevant, and it's worth showing to more people. So this is that kind of algorithm that I spoke about in the last module, where if your video and is shown to that test group of people first, and they interact with it and they watch it and maybe they rewatch it, then this is the algorithm showing it to people who are similar to that audience. So this is why it's important to conduct your research, to use your niche to your advantage, because if you reach that right group of people and they watch that piece of content and they maybe rewatch it, maybe they comment on it, maybe they engage with it, this is then going to start showing to more people who are in that niche or that relevant audience, because TikTok has people segmented into, I interact with this type of content and so does this person. So I might be shown this piece of content and I might really like it and I might watch it to the end, or I might rewatch it. So then that person who's similar to me, they'll be shown it in the next batch of virality. So that is how it works. So if you can tap into that audience and if you can start even building your followers in your niche, then that's how you have the opportunity to really go far on this app. So, and I know that I don't want to encourage everybody to think, or I don't want to mislead you to think that, oh my God, you're going to go viral the minute that you create your first TikTok video. But I do want to let you know that the opportunity is there. And it has happened to people where they do go to sleep with 20 followers and they wake up and they have 20,000 followers. So everyone's just going to be going to sleep like the tooth fairy, hoping something will happen overnight. So just, be positive about it and hope for it, but it's not always guaranteed either. So when you're looking at creating your account, now you may have already created your TikTok account, which is great. Maybe you started to scroll through and become a little bit more familiar with it. Maybe you have your own personal account on TikTok and you haven't necessarily started to set up a business account yet. And all of that is fine. But I do think it's time now to start looking at your account profile setup in terms of your business. So when you go into creating your profile, you can switch to a pro account. Now, I will caveat that with, if you have a business that you want to just start creating content with, you want to be able to have access to all of the sounds that are available and all of the effects that are available, you may want to just stick with your normal creator profile for now. It's the same with Instagram, where, when you select a pro account, when you select a business account, for example, sometimes you might be limited in terms of the music, in terms of what you can and cannot do versus a creator profile. So maybe you might want to think about that first and start with a creator profile or a personal profile for your business. But you are then missing out on things like adding, I'll switch to the next slide. You might miss out on things like adding a link to your profile and adding a call to action as well. So you kind of have to play around with what your profile can look like, but you can switch back and forth at any time. So maybe start with just your normal profile first, maybe make it a creator profile before you move into business. Because if you are depending on using different sounds, and sounds is basically audio or music, that's what they're called on TikTok, is sounds. So if you want to maybe move into that category of, using sounds, using trending sounds, then you might not be able to do that when you have a business or professional profile. If you are creating content where you're speaking all of the time and you don't depend on music or sounds for virality, then you don't necessarily need to have your account on creator. And also, if you do want to advertise, you will have to kind of have that professional element on your profile as well. But it's the same in terms of Instagram for building your bio or any channel that you have on social media. People, if they see your video and your video goes viral, you want to be able to capitalize on that when people get to your profile. Because if you have a video that goes viral and people really liked it and they go, oh my God, I've never seen this person on TikTok before. I want to see if they have more of these videos because I'm really interested in it. And that happens a lot. You want to be able to optimize your profile for people who visit it. So what is your, what are you putting in your bio? It is a very short bio as well. Are you encouraging people to, watch more of your videos? Are you encouraging people to send you a message? Are you encouraging people to visit your website? Are you encouraging people to maybe just interact with you? What is your call to action? And what do you want people to see? So even in this example here for the podcast that I'm co-host on, we have latest news, trends, advice, and tips so that when people go to our profile, they know that they're getting that on the profile. That is what content they're going to expect on this profile. And then you have the opportunity to have a link there as well. So for us, obviously, it's link to listen. For you, it might be, link to your shop. Maybe you have a specific product that in your videos has, been that product that people say, oh my God, where do I get that? How do I buy that? And maybe you're just linking that singular product in your bio because you know that people have been asking questions about that product, but it's still bringing people to your website. So give them that opportunity to find that product that they're looking for right off the bat by having it in your bio. And then following that, they'll still be on your website. So maybe there's that opportunity as well. And maybe, as you're on TikTok more, the more questions that come through in terms of frequently asked questions or things that they want you to link to, that's going to determine what's in your bio as well. So, you might have to keep updating it, but always be aware of what people want on this channel as well. And you can utilize these links. So you can actually share so you can see the little Instagram tab here. So you can utilize that by linking your Instagram profile, and you also have the opportunity to link your YouTube channel as well. So a lot of creators use TikTok as their lead to their YouTube. So they might put short videos or snippets of videos of their YouTube videos on their TikTok channel. And then they link out then to the longer form videos. Now you have the opportunity to create longer form videos on TikTok as well, but they tend to go from like 3 to 5 minutes. But a lot of creators still stick within that kind of 1 to 3 minutes if they are creating long form content, or else they stick to the very short videos. So at the start, I would definitely recommend keeping it short and sweet. And if you see there is a bit of a pickup, or there's people who want maybe more of you and you are used to creating those longer form videos on YouTube, just create those shorter snippets on TikTok and allow people then to go to your YouTube channel for more content. And that's how a lot of creators have done it, and they've done it very, very well. So how you should approach your content creation. So when you create your account, you need to show up on it. It's the same with Instagram or any other social media. If you really want to create an engaging atmosphere on your social profile, and if you really want to succeed on TikTok and on any profile, you have to show up. You have to be active. And I want you to get into the mindset of your business when you're on your business profile. And I don't mean go on and sell. I mean, go on and interact with TikTok as if it's your niche. So only engage with videos that are relevant to your business or your audience and their likes and needs and wants, because you're now structuring your TikTok, your For You page in a way that suits your business, but it's also telling TikTok that this is the kind of niche that you're in. And I'll explain that in a bit more detail. But interact with your business hat on. So you also need to be engaging with videos as a business. You need to be commenting, you need to be engaging with people on this channel. And it doesn't necessarily have to be people who you follow or people who are your followers. This can be you scrolling through your For You page as a business. And as the days go on and you're interacting with more businesses, or you're interacting with more profiles that are relevant to your business, your For You page will then become tailored to your niche. And then you can start commenting and start engaging. And then you're showing up then in the comment section of relevant videos so that your audiences are maybe now seeing you there. And this is important because all of this builds your persona and all of this builds your brand on TikTok. So it's not just what you create, it's also what you engage with and how you engage as a business. So if you have your brand guidelines, if you have your social media persona as a brand and a business, it will become a lot more natural for you then to start interacting on TikTok. And don't just create and don't just post. You need to also show up. So I want you to start your research. So on the tab below, at the bottom of your TikTok profile, it may look different for certain applications and certain updates, but generally it is called Discover. So I want you to go into the Discover section. And what I want you to do then is I want you to start typing in anything to do with your niche. So you can start a little bit more broad, and then you can become a little bit more tailored. So when you type in anything into TikTok, you have different options. It will show you top, which will be the top videos to do with that particular subject matter that you've typed into the Discover section. Then it will show you the top users that create content to do with that particular topic. Then it's going to show you the different videos. So this tends to show the most popular videos, and it can also show you the most recent ones as well. And then you have the different sounds that have been used in terms of that topic. So all of this will help you as well. And as I was saying before, the sounds are all of the music and the audios to do with that particular topic. And then you have hashtags. Hashtags are quite important when it comes to TikTok, because especially at the start when you're starting to grow your following, and it's also a way of telling TikTok how to categorize your content and what audiences you want to show them to. So it is very important to start conducting your research from what type of videos are there to do with my niche? What type of people and content creators are there at the top when it comes to my topic and my niche? What sounds are being used, but also what are the top hashtags? Because as you can see here, there will be these hashtags here that will show you how many views on average these hashtags have. So that will help you then when you are creating your content, because you will then see, okay, to do with my industry or to do with my niche or my products or my services or my content, I'm now seeing what are the top hashtags that I should be using that are relevant to that, and just start taking note of these. So this is your kind of research phase where you're looking at, what type of videos, what type of sounds, what type of hashtags are there. And I know that beauty and even organic can still be quite broad, but if you can go deeper, you can go really, really deep into a very specific niche. And this is why maybe you're doing this course, because you're wondering, well, I want to learn the ropes, but what if it's not for my niche? What if there's no audience out there for what I have because it's so specific? I guarantee you there will be an audience for it. So start to look up these hashtags now and start to look up these various words, and then just start doing your research that way. And you'll become, and even the way that you're typing these into TikTok, you're kind of forming your own For You page as well, right? Because TikTok is noticing all of this. So if you start typing in, words to do with specific industries, products, services that are related to your business, it's going to start showing you more videos to do with that, because it knows that you have an interest in this type of industry. So it's going to show you more content to do with it. And that's how you're tailoring your experience as well. So it kind of works both ways. It's a double-edged sword when you're doing this research, because not only are you doing the research for your own content creation, you're also framing and structuring your own For You page experience. So this is going to take some time, and that's okay too. And if you are looking at, the users that are there, the top users, follow them, and then have a look at, their interactions, their videos, their sounds, and get inspired. So it is very much a really good space for you to conduct that research. And also, it's great for you to do that research for all of your social channels, because there's so much out there that you can get inspired by as well. So that's kind of what I would be suggesting first, is to go onto TikTok and go into Discover and live there for a while. So there is this mentality of, I'm too old for TikTok. And maybe this resonates with some people who are currently on this course or currently watching this module, where you're kind of going, I'm in my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, or my 60s, and I have a business, but I'm too old to be creating TikTok videos. And that's believe me, you are not. It is there for all age groups, but it is a really, really fast growing app with millennials, with boomers, with all types of demographics. So it may have started predominantly with teens, but right now it is very much growing in the over 40s, the over 50s, the over 60s age group and categories. So don't put yourself down and dismiss it because you think you're too old for it. You really are not. So I'm going to be playing a couple of clips as this module goes along. So this is just to give you an example, right? So this is an over 30s, like this is a woman who, it's just basically relatable for people who are in that category, who love DIY and all that stuff, right? So the way that I want you to think about it is, if you, let's just say, had a DIY company, or you had furniture or DIY products or anything to do with that, and you wanted to kind of hop on a trend, or you wanted to take part in an audio, then this is just somebody who, again, they might be working with a paint partner, they might be working with a DIY partner, but they want to make it relatable. So I just want to start you off with this video from the over 30s category, which was a top trending video.
Girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm not going to do it, girl. I was just thinking about it. I'm not going to do it. I did it.
So that's just, again, a really, really short clip that's relatable for the audience, right? It's somebody who says, no, I'm not going to do it. And it is, as I said, a trending sound. And you'll become a lot more comfortable and familiar with that the more that you use TikTok. And that basically means that that particular sound is not that person. So that's not her speaking in the video. That's her using this sound and using her own kind of mouth to do a voiceover, or to go along with that voiceover and make it relatable content for the end user. So this is TikTok. TikTok is more often than not using a sound or an audio or a piece of music that you're now tailoring it to your business and your audience. So this is how you can reach the For You page, is by using these kind of trending sounds and saying, okay, how am I going to tailor that to my business? And how am I going to create this content that my audience will relate to it as well? So it's trying to find that nice balance. And that is TikTok. That really kind of is using these types of content and going, how can I create that to make it relevant for my audience as well? And there's so many ways to be inspired, but this is why it's so good to start scrolling, just getting used to TikTok, because it is always a thing that you hear first from people when they start using TikTok is, God, I keep hearing the same sound over and over and over again. And that is TikTok. It is because at that time, in those kind of 2 or 3 days or 5 days or 7 days, there is a current sound that is trending, and it's how creative you get around it and how you tailor that to your business. So the more that you become familiar with how it works, the more then that you'll get inspired and go, aha, I get it. So it just takes a while for that aha moment, but give yourself time to get that as well. And as I was saying, in terms of your hashtags, so you can see here that there's so many hashtags that you can use, but you are limited in terms of the amount of text and copy that you can have when you are publishing a TikTok video. So unlike, Instagram, where it is, you can put paragraphs into your caption, you don't have that luxury when it comes to TikTok. And it only uses like lowercase hashtags in most cases as well. So just kind of remember that when you are using a lot of hashtags, just to keep them lowercase as well. So there is a TikTok guru, as I like to call him, Joseph Todd. He is definitely somebody that I would suggest he publishes a lot of kind of TikTok 101 articles, and he's quite good in terms of, keeping people up to date as well. And he works with a lot of people who create TikTok videos, just TikTok videos as well. So he's quite good to follow for these kind of up-to-date tips. But his formula is that you use one very, very niched hashtag. So if you look on the top right hand corner here, you can see that this is a micro hashtag. So this is very specific to that particular video. And then you have your two small hashtags, which maybe, you know, at the time is like slightly viral hashtags, but very related to your business. So this is where your kind of your hashtag research comes into play here. Then you have your medium hashtags, right? Which again, you know, here he's using TikTok viral, AirPods, MacBook. So again, you know, related to what he's talking about, but on a more broad scale. So you're kind of starting really, really niche, and then you're just getting broader and broader and broader. And this mix of hashtags is that kind of, it's the ingredients all put together to help your video to go viral, really, and to keep it relevant to your niche as well. And then you have what's called culture hashtags. And these are ones that you might use in all of your TikTok videos. So you can see the ones hashtag FYP, hashtag for you page, hashtag TikTok, and he's using hashtag prank in this because that's, again, just to do with the video. But hashtag FYP and hashtag for you page, these culture hashtags are ones that you might just have to use in all of your videos. Because if you use hashtag FYP or hashtag for you page, these hashtags are almost telling TikTok, I want to go viral, or I want my video to reach the for you page. So try to have those hashtags in every video that you create. So try, again, you know, mixing up your hashtags to do with specifically that video, your hashtags to do with your industry on a very relatable scale, your hashtags to do with your industry on a more broad scale, and then your culture hashtags as well. So again, just keeping an eye out, doing that research and making sure that you're using those hashtags to your advantage, because they are how you can grow. But just remember that when you are using this many hashtags, it means that your actual copy and what you can say is so limited. And you'll notice that anyway, if you are starting to publish content, that it will cut you off. Similar to Twitter, it will cut you off and say, no characters left. So you have to be quite creative in terms of the copy that you use along with your hashtags. And now we're going into, you know, this is the creating content button then. So that is, you know, what you're going to be using. And I will be getting to the tutorial a little bit later on. But this is the button that you will be using, hopefully, to create those beautiful pieces of content. And as I was saying before, look up TikTok for Business. So this is a really good way of keeping yourself up to date, but also seeing case studies, seeing what has worked for other people and getting inspired. So you have your own kind of research that you will be doing using TikTok, and then you'll have these other resources as well to always kind of fall back on, that I would recommend, because they are always going to be relevant to you as well. And it's also, you know, when you are taking it that step further, and when you're maybe thinking about advertising as well, there will be so much information in that particular area as well. So the best way to grow on this platform is using a combination of your niche along with trending content, trending challenges, and trending sounds. So the more that you use TikTok, and I know I'm like a broken record saying the same things about TikTok over and over again, but it's so difficult to navigate and create content on TikTok if you're not using it on a daily basis yourself. So it's good to just give yourself that bit of time, whether it doesn't have to be every day, but it just has to be some, you know, something that you keep tabs on, because it changes so much in terms of what goes viral. And I think it's quite relevant if you look at, you know, the memes that people create, and like memes, MEMES, or memes, as some people call them. You know, we won't get into that argument, but like just thinking of memes, right? And thinking of jokes that people make around certain times of the year, or certain events that happen, or certain kind of jokes that are currently trending at the time. And you think about, you know, okay, this particular meme is being created, or this particular saying is, you know, people are saying it now. So I need to get on that with my business. But if you wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks to create content around this trend, it's going to be too late. So that's why you kind of need to be on top of your game in terms of looking at TikTok and seeing what content is currently trending, what style is currently trending, what sounds are currently trending, because they might not be trending in a week's time. It's the same right now as saying, oh, your eyebrows are on fleek. Nobody says that anymore. So if you created a piece of content that was like, oh, our chairs are on fleek, people would be like, no, no. It's like saying like, what's up? And that kind of stuff. That is the equivalent of using a trend 2 or 3 weeks late. People will be like, oh, come here. That is in the past. Like, leave that in the past. So it's good to just keep yourself up to date with what's happening and making sure that it's still relevant at the time of posting. So this combination, as I was talking about, the trending sounds or the trending challenge, and you don't have to, necessarily say, I'm going to do a trend, a sound, a challenge, an effect, everything at the same time. But you might say, I'm going to use a sound that's currently trending for my content. So how do you do that? How do you use a sound that's currently trending, or that's currently got a lot of videos that are using it for them, or, that is just going viral? So what you do when you see that is, on the bottom right hand corner, there's always this little disc that moves. It's like a little record with that person's bio or profile picture, or whoever created that sound, right? That piece of content is always kind of moving. And this bottom row here, where you can see it, that section there is also moving too. So when you tap on either this or that circle, you can then open up that sound and start using it yourself. So this is just an example of how to do it. So hopefully this will play for you. But either way, just watch on the screen what happens. Please leave me alone when you're sleeping. So then you can see there that when you go to, I'm actually just going to go back here a second, if that's okay. So when you tap on that sound, you can see here that there are currently 22.4 thousand videos that are using this sound. So the more and more viral that a sound gets, the more and more videos that are currently being used with that sound. So that's how you know that a sound has gone viral, if there's thousands of videos that are currently using that sound for their videos. So you can see there are different variations, and people try to, twist the different sounds to suit their style, their brand, their message. And if it fits your narrative and if it's relatable to your audience, that's how your video becomes popular. And it tends to kind of go from the top videos to the least favorite ones. So again, you can see that these videos here that are using the sound, they have gotten, these are the most popular ones using that sound. So you have the option to add it to your favorites to come back to it later. And this is, again, you doing your research, you seeing what sounds are trending. You might not be ready to create a video with that sound currently, but you're ready to use it for the future. So tap on add to favorites there. So it's put into your kind of favorites category, or you can tap to use the sound right away. So if you click, I'm just going to click on play here. So you can see that when I tapped to use that sound straight away, it's appearing here at the top, and I can create my content using that sound. So it's ready there and it's in my library to use. And if I didn't want to use it at the time, it's saved in my favorites. So always save these sounds to your favorites so that they're easier to find, because if you don't, then you could lose the video and then lose the sound. And it's very, very difficult to find certain videos after you've watched them, because it's so hard to find it, because you might not be following that creator, or you might not remember their name or what the sound even, what the name of the sound was, and then you lose the sound. So try to kind of get into that rhythm of, I'm going to save this to my favorites. Or even when you see a video, and I'll just go back here again, but even when you see a video that you want to use the sound of, or that you like the look of it, start liking them, because your profile itself will naturally have your favorites saved in there. So you can always go back to these videos. So I just want to give you an example of a brand that had a shift in their mentality for content creation and the difference that it made to their content. So I'm using Ryanair as an example. I know I'm Irish. I know they're Irish. So a little bit of bias here. But what they used to do, and it's really, now, if you went on their profile and you try to find their older content, you're going to be swiping for a long time, because even at the time I did these slides, it took me a long time to find them, to find their older content. And their older content was quite salesy. You know, it was kind of more generic travel style content that anybody could really create for any brand. You know, you can literally take their piece of content and say, oh, this is for a travel agency, or this is for another airline, or this is for a hotel chain. So they were very much focused on the destinations, where to visit when you get to the destination, summer inspiration, and so on. And they were also creating this content in lockdown, when a lot of people were not able to travel, or they were limited or restricted. And so the relevancy of it was low. So they decided, we're going to actually completely change the narrative of our channel, and we're going to just start using trending sounds or trending challenges, make our planes the main character, and then just use the effect of putting like eyes and a mouth on our plane. And I know that sounds really weird if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'll show you an example in the next slide. But what they did was they shifted their mentality to, okay, let's just make relevancy the top of our list here, and make our brand the top of our list, so that we're not being salesy. We're just putting ourselves out there and putting our brand first. And it really worked out for them. Now they're already in the millions club. So they're already, even from this, they just went viral. But it was a massive shift in the way that they did change. So all of their content is using their planes, and you can see here they're using the effect where you can put your eyes in your mouth on an object and make it talk and make the eyes blink. So it's actually your features on an object of your choice. So what they did was they used, trends, they use these viral challenges, they have their fun personality, they use the proper hashtags, and they just get involved, and they are good and timely with their content. That's why they blew up on TikTok. That's why they're so popular, is because they use these trends to their advantage. And following that, naturally people will, book with them, but they're not being salesy. And this is kind of this is why they became so popular on the platform, because they took part in all of this. They changed their mentality from selling to what do people want on this channel? And then they made it about brand building, brand awareness, and hopping on these trends. So this is just an example of, again, using a trending sound, but making it relevant to their industry. Switch all my haters is obsessed, cause I make them, they get much less. Don't be trying to double back, I already despise you. Really short, right? Really short and sweet. And it's basically them hopping on a challenge that, that sound was trending, and they were trying to think of something that's relevant to their industry. And again, their audience is predominantly younger people, but if you go through their content, it's relevant to a lot of people, and anyone who has traveled or flown as well. So, and they're always getting really good praise from the users as well as businesses. So definitely one to watch if you are a business, and see how they kind of, I know that word pivot is a lockdown word that we maybe want to keep in lockdown, but they did pivot their brand on that channel, and it worked out perfectly for them. So they're a really good example of how not to do it and then how to do it. So again, another way to grow on the platform is using things like effects. Now I will go through that. The tutorial is coming next. So using, trending effects along with your sounds and along with everything else, these can work too, because like any channel, if you're using new features, if you're using new sounds, or using new trends, or using new effects, or using new transitions, anything new, TikTok will try to push to more people to use them as well. So it's the same with Instagram. If you see Instagram stories now have a new feature, let's use it, because Instagram will naturally push it to more people for them to see this new feature and hopefully use it as well. So it is this kind of hierarchy in the For You page that you're trying to aim for. And that's how you get to it. So using popular effects. So I have an example here of, if you're going through your For You page, or you're going through, videos, and you see an effect. So this is kind of how you use a trending effect, similar to how I showed you how to use a trending sound. So you're on the, I'm just going to pause it a second, right? So you're on a video, let's just say in your profile, you're scrolling through your For You page, and you see this little sticker here. This is an effect. So an effect is basically, it can be like almost like an overlay. Maybe it's like that with the eyes and the mouth on the Ryanair plane. That's an effect to change the look and feel of it. An effect can sometimes be a green screen. In this case, it's just changing the style or changing the look and feel of the video into a warp, so that when you hit a certain point in the camera, you turn into this warp. So there's loads of these effects, and I'm sure you've seen them as well throughout reels or throughout your time, where you've seen these different effects happen where, you know, maybe their mouth becomes bigger or like that, there's a time warp. So this is just showing you, you know, how to use that. So basically the cat, you know, gets caught in the time warp, and then that wasn't obviously planned. So what you do is you tap on that yellow sticker here. So that's the effect. And similar to the sound that I showed you earlier, right? This is showing you how many videos are created with that effect. So you can see 141.5 thousand videos using this time warp waterfall, which is a new effect. And because it went viral quite quickly, that's why people jumped on it, right? Because people want virality. They want to use these new features so that they get discovered. So again, you know, there's all of these different people who, you know, who use it to basically for different styles of videos. And again, you can add it to your favorites, or you can click on that red camera icon to start using it straight away. But I always add it to favorites first, just in case. And again, you can start using it then for your videos. So again, how do you approach content creation? So this is basically a little bit of a recap of what we spoke about last week before we go into the tutorial. So series content. So you might, you know, be creating a video and you're going to create it in multiple parts. So you call it part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and you can create a little playlist on your profile of these. So, you know, you're categorizing your content, and people quite like when there's a part 2 or a part 1 or a part 3 to something that they're interested in. Niching your content, so using those hashtags and using your niche to your advantage. So do that research first, so you have the right content together. Using your popular trending sounds, and I will go into duets and stitches in a while. And the one thing as well to remember about TikTok is, if you're used to creating content on Facebook and Instagram, you'll probably see that you have a kind of a 12 to 24 hour window where you get interactions and then it dies, right? Maybe with reels, you know, it is slightly different, but you have probably noticed that you have this window of time where your content is shown to people and then it's not shown anymore. So that is the way the algorithm normally works. However, on TikTok, you could create a video and it mightn't get that many views. And then all of a sudden you're noticing, oh my God, this video is really picking up, or how come this video is going viral all of a sudden? So views tend to increase over time. So don't delete a video just because you think it's not going to perform very well, because it could very well become viral, or it could be picked up in the algorithm at a later stage. The best times to post on TikTok are generally later at night. So again, it depends on your industry, it depends on your audience, but generally people tend to use TikTok at nighttime or on weekends. So just remembering that as well when you are planning your post, that it is at that later time versus other channels as well. And again, a very quick reminder, you are tapping into emotions here. You are tapping into relatability, emotions, creativity, fun, entertainment. This is TikTok. And remember, you know, you want to get their attention. You want to start your content with grabbing attention, then keeping attention, but using those lowercase hashtags. Like, how are you going to go about content creation? Can you do a tips section? Can you add value to people's time? Can you, you know, maybe become that video that they want to save or share with others? And you want to remember that this is upper funnel. So keep thinking this is upper funnel. I don't want to always think of selling. I want to think of building my brand and building relationships with these people, sparking that engagement. Encourage commentary as well on your videos, because comments are gold on TikTok. And remembering, you know, you're reaching the right people at the right moments in their day and in this time of year as well. And remember, you know, it is the elevator pitch of the elevator pitch. What type of content are you going to be creating? You know, what are the types of things that you're comfortable creating that maybe fit around a certain narrative as well, or fit around a certain trend or a sound or an effect? And then, you know, this is similar to what I was saying in terms of bad content, right? So what I did was I sacrificed myself on TikTok for about maybe a month or two. And I tried to do a broadcast channel. What I mean there is I only had a TikTok channel, right, that I didn't create original content on, and that I just posted content that I was using for other channels. So basically my Instagram Reels content or my TikToks, or sorry, my YouTube videos. And I just reused content. So nothing was created originally on TikTok. So what I did was I created a TikTok channel, created a pro account, used just content that I had on other channels, and I only logged into TikTok to post, and then I went away again. So none of my videos performed well because I was doing everything else right. I was using my hashtags and I was using my copy, but nothing else. I didn't do my niche research, and I wasn't on my For You page ever. So my For You page as my business was never tailored to my account. It was always just me logging in, being a broadcast channel. So what that means is you're just logging in to just say something, and then you're basically you're posting and ghosting. And that's not how TikTok works. That's TikTok basically telling me, no, we're only going to show it to a certain amount of people because you're not creating original content on our platform. You're not spending time on our platform, and you're using content that you've already used on other channels, and you're just coming in, saying what you need to say, and you're leaving again. Nope, you are not a good channel. So this is how not to do it. And I have the proof is in the pudding, because I have, created content for other brands and other businesses where they're very active as channels, as people. They've done their niche research, they're active, they're proactive, they're engaging, they're prompting engagements, they're creating original content on the platform, and that works. This does not. So duets and stitches, how I describe these is duetting is basically if you see a video that you can maybe do a reaction to, it's basically like a side-by-side, screen and screen. So it'll show their video on one side, whether it's top or side, and you can create a video right alongside theirs. So you can do a reaction to them. You'll probably see, as you're, using TikTok a little bit more, you're seeing duets that are happening, and you can duet a duet of a duet. So you'll probably see that some people's videos are going viral because they're using duets to their advantage. And some people say duet this, and they might say answer these 5 questions, and then they'll ask the question and leave you time then to respond. So duets are quite good to maybe, again, hop on something that's going viral, or maybe they're good to prompt some content creation on your end if you're struggling with it. So when you go to any piece of content and you hit on the little arrow button on the page, you have the opportunity here to duet it, but you also have the opportunity to stitch it. So I'll just show you an example of a duet. So this is I was pointing to my screen, like you can see it, I'm using my cursor, don't worry. So this account, Pencils by Sean, is a very creative account. He does kind of artwork using just the tip of a pencil as the canvas. It's amazing. But he gets involved in stitches as well, right? So this is the original one is in the top right-hand corner, right? And this has been duetted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, right? So he wants to get involved, and he's using his pencil here as this person's leg. So it is very much confusing when you watch duets for the first time. You're like, what the heck is going on? But it makes sense then when you watch it. And I love watching people's creativity with it.
Can we stop duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them? I don't need to know what you looked like watching that TikTok.
See, so that's how it works. It basically, he's just pretending that her leg is a pencil and, getting involved in it that way. But again, it's quite good and quite creative, and people love that. But then if you're using the stitch feature is basically, it starts with a one video. So it starts with, we'll say, the video that you want to stitch with, and then you can contribute to the video itself. So some people have videos where it's like, tell me about a time where you're happiest. And then people will hit the stitch button. It will start with the original video saying, tell me about a time that you were at your happiest. and then you can continue the narrative with your video. So it's basically using their video as an intro for yours. Again, this can be quite good to prompt some content creation for you, but if it is a stitch that's going viral, it's something that you can get involved in as well. So you can see here, stitch with, and then it will show the video, the original creator video as well. So again, it's good for you to just tap into that if it suits your brand and your business as well. So now we're going to go into a tutorial. So what I want you to do is, again, this is probably a video that you'll come back to and follow along with, but I just want you to become a bit more familiar with content creation with this. And what we'll do in the final module as well is I will kind of open up my phone and go through some content creation along with you for the final section as well. But this is something that I would love for you to kind of take out your phone now, open up the app and just start, looking around or like pressing different buttons along with me here, right? So when you go into your app, I want you to press that plus button at the bottom to create content, right? You'll see this is the main interface here where it's going to prompt you to tap on multiple buttons. Now, what I want you to do, what I want you to do is I want you to tap on the sounds at the top here, right? And that's going to open up the sound library. And you'll be able to see all of the different sounds that are trending. You can see things that are going viral. You can see different ones in Discover. And maybe you just want to browse through sounds that way. Or maybe you have ones saved as well. So they will appear in your favorites. So you'll see Discover and then you'll see favorites. So the ones that you have saved already are going to be in there. So when you tap on that, then the sound that you want to use will appear up here on the top. You also have the opportunity to upload pre-existing content in there as well. Now, I will warn you that sometimes when you use content that you've already used in the past, like unoriginal content for TikTok, they may not go as viral as you want because you're not using the platform itself to create the content. So just remember that it loves when you use that middle button here, the record button, and you're just using their platform for creating your own original piece of content. You also have the opportunity to change how long you want the video to be. I always say click on the 60 seconds or whatever the longest amount of time you have available to you, because you might have a video that you're creating and then all of a sudden you go over the 15 seconds and you can't go back and say, I want to make it longer. You have to select the timeline at the very start and stick with it. So just always select the longest one so that you have more room to play. So you'll see all of these different ones here. And then you have the various sliders here. So you can record in 2x or 3x speed, or you can record slower. So the slower that you record, it's basically like a time lapse. It becomes faster in the end. The faster that you record, the slower that it is as well. So it's kind of like thinking about, do I want to make a slow motion, a fast motion, or just a normal time one, right? So that's that one there. So again, you'll see this option, you'll see that you can select templates, and I'll go through templates in a minute. You have the options all around you here. Now you can choose to have the filters, you can increase your speed. Again, it depends on what your interface looks like, but these are kind of the different ones here. You have, enhance and filters and all that stuff that you can add to your to yourself too. And you have all of these different opportunities, right? And I will go through the timer in a while, because that's the timer is actually quite important for if you're using a trending sound that maybe has certain sections that you need to change your position, or that you want to make sure matches your video, or like you want to split it here and change into a different outfit, or you want to maybe change the scene. So that timer is quite important to keep an eye on. But this middle button here, you can see here, you have 15 seconds, 60 seconds, 3 minutes. Maybe you only see 60 seconds, maybe you see 3 minutes. So it kind of depends on what your app shows you at the time, and it depends on your country as well. So for some countries you might have longer or shorter, so it depends. So don't feel like if you don't see what I'm seeing or what I'm showing you on the screen, it's maybe because you're more limited where you are in your country. Maybe you see more. great, use them. But this is generally what it looks like. So you can hold down this button to record. You can tap on it and it goes hands-free. You can also tap on the timer button so that you can completely go hands-free and have it set up maybe in your ring light or wherever you're setting up the video, and then get into position. You can choose from a 3-second to a 10-second countdown as well. So it's handy if you do need to get into a specific position. When you have recorded some piece of content, then you select to, edit it. So there's a little tick button that you go through. The interface changes then. So your options are different when you have it recorded. So you can see here that you can add more filters. You can adjust clips, which I'll get to in a moment. You can add voice effects. Again, if you are using a voiceover or a voice changer, you can use different effects to change what your voice sounds like. You can also use a noise reducer. So this is quite useful if you have a lot of background noise or you want to maybe control the sound a little bit. That's just a thing that you turn on or off. It's not something that you can swipe through or scroll through. It's just something that you have the option to reduce some noise around what you're creating. Then again, if you do create a piece of content and you want to add a sound to it, so you have the option, if you are speaking in a video and you want to maybe have a bit of background music, you can add a sound then. Or if you create a video in silence and you want to add the sound afterwards, you have that opportunity. So you don't necessarily have to always choose your sound at the start. You have the option to choose it at the end. You can also add effects after as well. So I will go into effects in a little bit more detail in a minute. I'll also go into text and stickers as well, but this is what your interface looks like after you've created content. If you want to press the back button here, the little arrow to go back and maybe add to your content, then you have that option as well. You're not just committed to what you have created. You can go back and edit it. So if you're using the voiceover section, right? So this is really popular for people who are maybe describing how their product works or how their service works. So they might just use a screen recording of their website, or they might have a day in the life video where they record it all muted. And then at the end, they're putting in a voiceover. You'll see a lot of people do this with maybe recipes or how to use the product when you get it first, where they'll have a video and they'll say, okay, so what you do is, and that's them creating a voiceover afterwards, kind of narrating what you're seeing. So when you tap on voiceover, right, you can tap to keep the original sound if there is some sound that you have in the video you want to keep, or you can choose to untick that so everything becomes muted and now you just have your voiceover. So you can tap it, or you can drag this white bar over to when you want to start your voice recording, right? So at the start, maybe you have 1 or 2 clips where you're introducing it to the camera and then you want the rest to be muted. All you have to do is just drag this over to where you want to start your voiceover and hold that down then. The video will play along with your voice recording so that you're making sure you're matching everything in real time. So that's really handy, and it's quite popular as well for the likes of, a how-to, a tutorial, a day in the life. There's so much opportunity for it, and it is quite popular to use as well. You also have the opportunity to adjust your clips. So this is handy if you want to maybe do different clips and edit them, or you maybe want to have one where you're in a certain outfit and then you're in a different outfit. Maybe you're having a narrative with yourself and it goes this outfit, that outfit, this outfit, that outfit. So you can maybe record all of your other outfit, we'll say in all of your clips that just have this outfit on in one go. And then you record the others in the next section, and you can drag and drop. So you can hold down these clips. They'll all be in order here, and you can edit them. You can start over, so you can re-record them. So if I record all of the clips in this outfit in different chunks, then I have the opportunity to go back and start over with my other outfits so that I'm not changing and then changing again and changing again. That's how they're done. The person isn't changing every 2 seconds. They have their pre-recorded clips in one outfit and they're just starting over with the other outfit. If what I said is really confusing, that's totally fine. It will make more sense the more that you use this. So again, what I would like you to do is, I hope that you have the app open and you're literally just tapping on all of these different sections as I'm talking, because even if you just quickly record, 1 or 2 clips, just holding down the button and then you're pressing that tick button, just tap on adjust clips and you'll see this feature here where you have the option to trim, to cut, to start over, and you can see long press to reorder. So you can tap and hold it down and drag whichever clips into whatever sections you want. So you can reorder your clips as well. So it's really, I love the editing functionality in TikTok. It's really user friendly and it allows you to correct any mistakes that you might have. And it gives you that bit of freedom as well. Now, you also have the opportunity to add the effects button, right? So I'll just pop into this one quickly. So the effects button is down here on the left-hand side. It's there, it's just to the left when you are, I'll actually pop back there a second. So it's here when you are starting. So you can see when you're starting your entire video, you have the opportunity to add the effects, or you can add it afterwards. So you can see that there's multiple effects that you can do. There's the trending ones. So that might be something that you might want to tap into to use a trending effect. There's new. So what's new that you maybe want to use to potentially have that virality. And you have ones that you favorited. So this is where they appear then in the little favorites section. So you can tap that one there to make sure that you are using ones that you have favorited before, so you know that they may be something that will go with your video or maybe something that might go viral. Then you also have transitions. So these basically will cut in between your we are back. Apologies, I lost my my connection for a split second. So I'm just we're almost there. So I'm just gonna keep going and we will just go through the rest of this tutorial if that is okay. Alrighty, so we are back in the room. So as I was saying, for transitions, so transitions can go in between different clips. Yeah, we're still recording. I just had to make sure. So your transitions will go in between different clips, right? So you might have maybe one or two clips that you're like, I don't want it to just cut straight into the next one. I want there to be some sort of an effect that's bringing them together. So this is, or that maybe is like a swoosh, or, you know, a quick fade in, fade out. So you can tap on adding transitions here as well. And then you can choose that little white bar in between different sections, and then you can browse the various and we're back. So basically for transitions, I just want you to use them if they make sense to what you're creating, in terms of if it makes sense for you to maybe not have that hard cut between one scene and the next, and it makes sense, then do. But also try not to use too many of them because it's a shiny new toy, because sometimes for the end user, it's not going to make sense for them if there's too much going on. So we're just going to finish up then with a few other things that you can do to enhance your videos. So you have the option to add text overlays on your videos as well. So when you go into the text option, you have similar to if you're creating, we'll say, a story where you tap on the text and you can start typing. You can change the type of text. You can use this to maybe have a background color on your text as well. And you can pop in the different text. And then when you have your text made, you press done. And then when you tap on your text that you've just created, you have these different options. So text to speech basically turns into a narration when you're finished. So you might not want to use your voiceover, but you might want the actual narrator within TikTok to read aloud what text you have. So that's text to speech. You can also set the duration of your text. So you might just want it to appear at certain points of the video, and that's where the set duration comes in. And you can also use the edit option. So you can have multiple pieces of text in your video and have them appear and disappear and appear and disappear. So that's what that is for. You can also tap on the stickers feature as well, which is at the bottom of your tab when you have created a video. And you have the opportunity here you can put in different GIFs or different emoji overlays, or you can mention an account. You can use hashtag overlays. You can add an image to your video as well. You can zoom in on certain sections. You can have an ask me anything. You can have a countdown to a live. You can start a poll, or you can add, again, the different overlays of the date and the time. So try to think about this is quite like stories in terms of the overlays, but it's actually going to appear on your videos on TikTok as well. Like I said before about the transitions and even effects, Try not to use too much of everything at the start because it's a shiny new toy. Maybe think about what will make sense. Maybe none of these will, but maybe one of them will. So try to maybe tap into that. I will go into live videos and more examples of videos in the final module of this course. So don't worry, there will be more detail on that towards the end. But also, if you are just starting out and you just want to become more familiar with creating content, and maybe you just want to see what it's like to collage a few videos, you can use the templates feature. So I'll just press play on this so you'll see what that's like. So when you tap on the templates feature here, you can select different photos. So you might just want to create a video from different photos that are on your phone. And it will show you the various styles and actually create a photo flow along with a sound for your photos. So again, it's just a way of you becoming a bit more familiar with creating content and just using templates to maybe just start and kick you off a bit if you need that helping hand. It's just another feature for you to try. And then also using the timer feature. So this is really good if you have a sound that you want to use with it. So you tap on the timer button. And then you can see there, I'm dragging the red arrow here, right? So what that does is this will basically show it, it'll kind of play the bit of audio right up until the red line. So you know when you wanted to stop recording so that you can maybe change your position, change your outfit, or change the scene. So once you do that and you press start countdown, it starts counting down, you get into position and it records right up to that mark. And you can see the blue line here is recording. And then it will stop then at your 6-second mark and get you to, you can press the same again, the same timer button and then go again. So this is good for recording various scenes at different times as well and getting into position. So when you're posting and you're publishing, again, I'll go into more detail about content and physical creation in the final module, but this is just getting you into how the features work and how you can start creating your first video. Then you have this publishing site. So we've gone through hashtags, so you can describe your video and use your various hashtags. You can also link to other videos that you have created. So it'll show your various videos. If you do want to maybe add another video for people to watch afterwards that is related to it, you can tag different accounts. You can also add a link, but you're quite limited in terms of where you're taking people to. So it's not that you can necessarily always link out to your website, but you can put in events, you can put in, like, again, these are just different apps that are associated with TikTok. But maybe you have a recipe profile, which you have on Whisk, or you maybe have a little quiz that you want people to take. So see what options are there when you hit the publish button. You can allow comments or disable comments as well if you do want to restrict commentary, because as I said before, people can be they can get a bit nasty on TikTok as well. So just be mindful of that. And then you can also allow duets or allow stitches, or you can switch them off. So somebody might want to duet or stitch your video, which is great news. So if they do, you can give them that opportunity. And I would, if you want to just see, will it maybe catch on? Will people want to stitch it? Will people want to, and then you can also add an overlay. So when you press on select cover, you also have the option to add these little sticker overlays as well. So you can add more context to your videos. You might also have the overlays in the text. So the text option that I was saying, maybe at the start, you want to put your, you can see here like 3 recent Amazon finds, Amazon tech gadget that you need. That's at the start of the video that they have that text, and they've just selected that as the cover, or you can create your own customized cover as well with an overlay. I would advise this if you are creating like a series or tips, or you want to categorize your video thumbnails so that when people do visit your profile, they can see what they have in terms of options, because they can't see your copy or your caption along with it. So what I would love for you to do is, if you have followed along with that tutorial in terms of getting to know the various buttons, just start creating your first video. And you can also make it private as well. So when you go into, so I'm coming back here. So when you're in this section, there is also an option to make your video just private. So you can just select only me as the audience. So then you're creating the content, you're seeing what it looks like on TikTok, but you're the only one who has access to it. So do that, and just maybe start with using a trending sound. What happens then? Use an effect. What happens then? And try to see what happens when you use these different text overlays and maybe transitions and effects. and play around with it, because you can publish it to just private. You can make your account just private and play away with the different features. That's the beauty of this channel, is it allows you to play around and get familiar with how it works. So when you have all of that done, we'll come back next week to talk a little bit about Instagram Reels, and I'll be doing a similar tutorial for those. And then in the final module, we're going to be going a little bit deeper into specific content creation for your niche. And then hopefully, because you've become more familiar with the platform, I'll show you examples of other businesses using TikTok to their advantage, but also, you know, how you can bring your content that little bit further. But I really hope that those tips have helped you and even just allowed you to become a bit more familiar with how everything works on this platform. So with all that being said, thank you for sticking with me. Apologize for the few little glitches we had in the middle there where I lost connection, but all in all, I just really hope that you have learned, again, just on top of the foundations, just how the platform works, and take your time to do that research. Take your time to scroll through your For You page and building that kind of library of sounds and library of effects for yourself. So I will see you all for the next module, where it's all going to be about Instagram Reels, and we'll come back to content creation in module 4. Thanks, everyone.